He is riding an Acedeck V10. It's got the dual belt drive motors. So his is a belt drive. I am on the NYX Z3 from Acedeck. Very happy with this board. He's got 750 miles on his board, and I have 850 something. So we have put them through a very good test. We've both had bindings, and we've both taken bindings off. So we're gonna watch the way he runs over this curb here without suspension on his board. As a true traditional skateboarder, you think you're gonna get one of these boards and you think you gotta fear traversing over bumps, you know, at an angle. And you can see even on his deck, he's got a little bit of vibration, but for the most part, he's going over these curbs at a 45-degree angle because the curbs are angled very nicely. Ba-boom, it's nothing. When you first get out here on them, you really think it's something you got to worry about, but it really isn't something you have to worry about at all. I think the full suspension offered by the Acedeck even makes it more ridiculous to fear. My top speed is pretty comfortable, around 32 miles an hour. My son has also done that, chasing me. He's a little less comfortable at that speed than I am, probably again because of the suspension. I will say I never did anything to the suspension, and as a bigger rider, you know, weighing 225 pounds, to not mess with my suspension, it's not like traditional skateboarding for me. I typically ride with my trucks tight. However, on these boards, I don't feel like I need it tight. If I was riding a double kingpin board like that, however, I would go tighter. But on the Acedeck, the stability is not a problem. All right, guys. So yeah, this is gonna be our long-term review. We know everything about these boards, except how to repair them, because we really haven't needed to. Nice shorts, dog. Taking these boards off-road, you know, and even popping off the concrete at 20 miles an hour, 25, it feels fine. It's not sketchy at all. We did get some rain. It's a little muddy off the trail, which again is no problem for the Acedeck. The tires that come on the Acedeck NYX Z3, the knobbies are very grippy, sometimes almost too grippy. Some of this concrete can be lipped up like, you know, right along the edge here. It can be lipped up like 4 or 5 inches and you still go up them without a problem. Wanted to talk about the Acedeck NYX Z3 we got right here. This thing is an absolute beast. I have a video where I ran into a grapefruit sized boulder, hit it with my front trucks, stayed completely stable on the board, knocked that boulder 40 feet, and then it continued to roll. It was maybe football size. It was pretty big. I'll tell you, the design of this thing is built tough. I'm a very tough rider. I try everything. I've firecrackered stairs on it, firecracker curbs. To those who don't know what a firecracker is, you're not strapped in and you just, you know, go down the steps like that. That's called a firecracker. I'm a traditional skateboard rider. I have skills in the bowl. I can catch long 50-50 grinds, front side, back side, have great balance, can do hard carves. I can do a lot of things that a lot of e-skaters I see on YouTube don't probably know how to do, and some that do, some that are very good. I will tell you this, getting into an electric board like this, I had no idea what it was going to be like, and the things I thought it would be like are not right. I fully expected the fear you might have with regular skateboarding to be an issue with these boards, especially with suspension, especially with all-terrain tires. That is a big reason why we got all-terrain boards, because we knew our riding was going to be mixed between road, you know, bumpy sidewalks, new old sidewalks versus gravel and trail. So I wanted to have something where I didn't have to fear things too much, and truly was amazed. Day 1 to day 2 to the first week, realizing that I could run off a curb almost even at an angle. Kind of blown away with the suspension on that Acedeck Z3. We have a wonderful trail, runs back and forth alongside this creek, and we are on it daily. If you live in the area, you'll see us on our SE bikes riding mile-long wheelies or on our electric skateboards. Old man is on the NYX Z3. My son rides the Isenwill V10 with those Meepo Cyclone tires on it. Those are pretty badass. That was like a $250 upgrade. That was well worth it for that board. I wanted to talk about the NYX Z3, kind of leave a review. I need to give you a little background on me. I've been skating since I was 46 on a traditional skateboard. I learned how to ride pools from remembering how to drop in to my first stalls, my first grinds, front side, back side, stand-up grinds, carve grinds, double truck grinds, the whole 9 yards. Like, I've progressed really well. I'm not a super fearful person, but you know, some of these things are hard to do. The Acedeck NYX Z3 is kind of the same. Probably not as easy for somebody that's just learning how to skateboard, but easily doable at the same time. And I don't know that it really crosses over that much actually either, because they're very different. This skateboard to me has been one of the best investments I've made in my life for health and happiness. Not only being able to get my family into it, we have 3 boards. The time that we spend and we share together, it's not like, you know, we ride bikes every night, and it's not like I'm tired tonight. Well, then let's take the boards. So we always have something to do. I can, with the assist of this motor, I can push my wife on her bike up some hills. Like, it's super powerful. When you are a traditional skateboarder and you think of an electric skateboard, you think of an electric skateboard. This is more like an electric dirt bike that's shaped like a skateboard. It goes up and over lots of things. It can be a little difficult up steep hills in the grass or in the dirt off-road or something like that, unless you're already moving fast. If you're hauling butt, it goes right up like a dirt bike. If you've got steep concrete, blacktop covered hills in your neighborhood, you'll never have this thing bogged down. It always has more than enough power, always. I've never been in Sport Plus mode except for the one time it accidentally clicked in, and the throttle accidentally got bumped and threw me on my back, straight from my feet to my shoulder blades. So as much riding as I've done, 850 miles plus, I've never needed that speed mode at all. The board is durable. It can withstand crashes, tumbles. It can withstand grinding the trucks on the side of the sidewalk or a high curb. It can withstand jumping off things, even with a rider my size at 225 pounds. For anybody who purchases an Acedeck, I have not loved those Werben or Werble, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I'm not a fan of the headlights on this board. I actually think they totally suck. I hate them. I think Acedeck needs to refund me on the 4 lights I've bought, they suck terribly. But anyhow, that's not an Acedeck product. I can't say enough about the brand and the quality of the brand. This video is not sponsored. I paid for this board. I've been happy with the company. I've been happy with how quickly they send things out. The fact that they don't charge me sales tax. These boards have made my life better. I'm gonna suggest, if you've got the funds, even if you're not a skateboarder, take your time, learn how to do this. You know, it's the scooter riders that always end up on their face. If you take your time on one of these boards, man, you will learn to ride it easy. It's probably the most fun I've had since surfing. Surfing might be better, but the waves are too crowded, you know? Skateboarding in the park in a bowl is fun, but this is more fun. I can leave from my garage. I can go anywhere I want to go. You know, being able to jump off curbs at 25 miles an hour. I love that. Being able to crank a JBL speaker full volume and head through the park on a trail, ripping it. It's so fun. Anyway, that's what I got to say. Yeah. Okay, late.